Welcome to School of Seeds. We talk about gardening tips, nature information, and outdoor adventures. Visit schoolofseeds.com to learn more. Every gardener has those plants or techniques that they struggle with. Overwatering is one of the most common and destructive problems we can have. Not only does it cause root rot in succulents and bulb rot in flowers, but it can kill some plants within just a few hours, making it pretty lethal. Here's how to prevent overwatering and save your plants before it's too late. Preventing the problem before it happens is the easiest solution. But the option that's best for you depends on your budget and free time. One of the simplest ways to reduce moisture buildup is to add more drainage to your soil. Perlite, sand, and rocks are just a few options to consider. Take note that the more porous your soil is, the faster water will drain out of it. While just adding sand to your soil can help a lot, adding bigger materials like perlite and rock creates large air pockets that allow water to travel through the soil faster. If mold keeps growing in a pot, that's a good sign that moisture is sticking around too long. This is especially true if there is a lot of decaying organic matter in your soil, which fungi love. More sunlight and air circulation can help, especially if your greenhouse or local area has high humidity. A hydrogen peroxide and water mixture is a good treatment for small amounts of mold, but vinegar is more effective for serious outbreaks. You can also remove organic matter from your soil or avoid it altogether. Compost, for example, is known for having large chunks of wood in its soil mix. And since they are in different stages of decomposition, it's an ideal environment for mold. For plants that need or prefer organic matter, experiment with reducing the organic matter or repot them in a sunnier or better ventilated location. Then there's water globes. You might have heard of aqua globes years ago. They are glass watering stakes that slowly water your plants as your soil dries out and releases oxygen. This is useful for some plants, but like everything in the garden, balance is key. Water globes can't always keep up with soil that drains really quickly or plants that demand a lot of water. On the flip side of things, plants that are very sensitive to overwatering, like succulents, could suffer from the constant stream of water that water globes provide. That's why water globes are most effective for plants that prefer a slow and steady stream of water, like hostas. When your plants are sitting in excess water, the signs become clear fast. Here are some quick ways to slow it down and stop it before it kills your plants. Your first option is called aeration, and you might have heard of it before. Landscapers use this technique to help air, water, and nutrients reach the roots of lawns more efficiently and reduce soil compaction. But in small-scale applications, it's a very effective way to dry out your soil. Use a thin wood stake like one you would use to support an orchid and poke holes in the soil. When I don't have time to repot an overwatered plant, this technique saves them within hours or about a day, depending on how porous and wet the soil is. The more moisture there is and the more loamy the soil is, the longer it will take to dry out. Repotting plants into a smaller pot can also help water drain faster. If your pot is far bigger than your plant's root system, the water that your plant can't absorb from the soil will sit in the pot longer. That's why porous pots, like terracotta pots, are used to quickly wick away water from the soil. Many gardeners consider them essential for bulbs like tulips, which hate having wet feet and will quickly die if overwatered. Watering our plants less in the future is the most permanent solution. Finding the right amount of water and watering frequency for our plants can be challenging, but one method can help. It's called the soak and dry method, and while it's typically used for succulents, it's helped me grow my first bulb flowers this year. It works like this: water your plants, and then Wait for signs of dehydration before watering again. Plants communicate their needs all the time, and when we pay attention, it becomes a lot easier to tell what they need and when they need it. Succulents become wrinkled when they need water. Other plants start to droop, but quickly perk up once they receive water again. Once you've repeated this cycle a few times, you'll know how often your plants need water. And then you'll have a new, proven watering schedule that you know your plants will love. Shout out to our new patron, Harper Wood. Thank you for joining our community and supporting our content. We're happy to have you, and stay tuned for exclusive content in the Patreon community. If you'd like to support this podcast, consider supporting us on Patreon too. And if you'd like to hear more, subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell icon to receive notifications from us. And remember, everything starts small.